is the video that's going to walk us through making the choice of who gets my stuff after I pass away, right? What is my legacy? How do I identify what that is? So for a will-based plan, you're going to identify that in the will, and the way it gets administered is that your executor, who is approved by the court, is going to, after they administer your estate, meaning they pay off any expenses that you have, they receive any monies or receivables you have, and when they have paid all of that off, they're able to then split it out according to however you decide. Now, if you have a will-based plan, typically what happens is you're going to say something like, to my kids equally, right? Or to this organization, etc. In a will-based plan, you're typically giving it outright. You owned it outright here, and when you're giving it to the next generation, you're giving it outright. In other words, there aren't any other protections. So you're going to see in the next video that there are certain protections that you can have in the next generation. And we can do that both with the trust-based and the will-based plan. But generally in the will-based plan, you're just identifying, here's who I want my assets to go to, and here's how I want them to get there. So in the space below, just go ahead and identify, here's what should happen when my spouse and I both pass away. All right? In the trust-based plan, it's the same thing. You've identified it in your after-death instructions. Here's how my assets get broken up. And whether it's to my kids equally or whatever, you would identify that. And it looks sort of like this. You're going to see in the next video again that there's some protections that we can have. We can give our assets to our kids in trust, or we can just give it to them outright. For where we're at in the process now, we're not going to talk about the protections. We're just talking about what should happen after my spouse and I both pass away, or if I don't have a spouse, after I pass away. The next generation, my legacy, what should that look like? Go ahead and describe that as best you can in the paragraph that follows, and then we're going to follow up with you in our process to fine-tune that and make sure that it represents your wishes. Thanks.